Absence of Malice, released in 1981, stars the legendary Paul Newman, Sally Field, Bob Balaban, and the legendary Wilford Brimley. Let's check out Absence of Malice. Honestly, there's no other way to put it. From Sally Field's innocence to Paul Newman's, who betrays his prosecutors, to the several supporting characters, each with their own small role, I find the entire film to be quite engaging. Wilford Brimley, who gets to eat scenery and completely steals the scene he's in, is the best of all. Paul Newman was riveting, exquisite, and a delight to watch in Absence of Malice. Total command of the film, both he and Wilford Brimley take over the film. Sally Field was beautiful, riveting. I love Sally Field. I love all the actors in this movie. They're all believable. Some of the storyline maybe not so. And when you watch the film, you'll see those parts. I don't want to spoil it. But Paul Newman and Wilford Brimley, they steal the show. It's clever drama with just enough humor to lighten the mood, covering a topic as pertinent today as it was in 1981. This intriguing thriller is directed by Sidney Pollack, stars Paul Newman as Miami liquor salesman Mike Gallagher, a man unrelated to the mob, but the son of one. An overly ambitious federal attorney, played by Bob Balaban, seeks to coerce Mike into aiding them, even though he knows he is innocent, after a union head is murdered and mob participation is suspected by going to the careless reporter Megan Carter, played by Sally Field, to publish the story. Mike won't disclose his strong alibi for the murder, since doing so would harm his delicate friend Teresa, played by the lovely Melinda Dillon. Following the devastating publication of the story and her involvement in it, Mike resolves to take the FBI and reporter to task by outwitting them one by one in their own game. A skillfully produced play that raises important issues regarding media and individual accountability almost fails miserably with Mike and Megan's foolish courtship, but it redeems itself with a remarkable ending, starring Wilford Brimley in a standout supporting role that cleverly and humorously establishes the law. There are two approaches to Absence of Malice, at least, and I suggest using the second. Naturally, the first line of attack would be to condemn the film's portrayal of an investigative newspaper reporter arguing that no dignified journalist would ever act in the ways that Sally Field does in this film. That is, and about Paul Newman. She brings shame to her field of work. What transgressions as a journalist does she make in this movie? You'll have to watch. She permits someone to disclose to her the details of a covert probe. She then publishes an unattributed account of the probe. At that point, she, as they say, gets personally involved with the subject of the investigation. Stated differently, she then develops feelings for Paul Newman. Then she publishes another piece that she ought to never have published, which leads to the suicide of an uninvolved bystander. This film is so good on so many levels. Wilford Brimley, Sally Field, the chemistry between Sally Field and Paul Newman. Is it a love story? Is it murder and mayhem? Intrigue? Who done it? You'll have to watch the film to watch Absence of Malice. Still, the general notion is conveyed. Would realistic investigative reporters make the same errors, blunders, poor decisions, transgressions, and moral failings as Sally Field did? No. In most cases, they wouldn't. If they did, it was improper of them to do so. Besides, their editors would never let them off the hook for it. Absence of Malice is caused by the editor's astonishing carelessness. However, let's face it, reporters occasionally engage in behavior similar to what Sally Field does in this film, and thus brings us the second or romantic approach to Absence of Malice. Not only did I enjoy the film in spite of its factual and ethical issues, in actuality, the film is truly about the cunning retaliation of a regular man and the feistiness of a woman. And it's engaging and enjoyable at that level. A subtly invented performance by Sally Field transforms her into a newspaper reporter, not Norma Ray with a pencil behind her ear, but a sincere, tense, likable young woman who errs when she pays too much attention to her ambition, her heart, or her editor. The booze wholesaler played by Paul Newman is supposedly completely innocent of the crime for which he is under investigation. But since his father was a mafioso, he finds his reputation being dragged through the media. As a result, he exacts revenge that the audience finds to be clever, evil, fitting, and entirely fulfilling. There were other good performances besides these two, chief among them those by Wilford Brimley, who plays a lawman who takes brusque command of an informal hearing and reduces all but Newman to quivering surrender. Also, the brilliant performance by John Harkins, a newspaper libel lawyer who was able to explain to Sally Field, as well as to all of us, the limitations and freedoms of libel law. A prominent Chicago editor once was presented with a significant scoop that had been gained through questionable means. He first persuaded himself that the narrative was true, and with that, he gave the age-old directive: print it tonight and call the lawyers in the morning. There is an editor out there now who may have taken pleasure in Absence of Malice. What Sally Field does in this film would not have pleased him. However, he would have comprehended it. Absence of Malice is a gem and a joy to watch. If you like fine acting, fine dialogue, fine directing, Sidney Pollack does a masterful piece with Absence of Malice. Paul Newman and Sally Field take direction well. Wilford Brimley goes off on his own and takes command of the entire film and blows everybody away, except for Paul Newman. That's how good Wilford Brimley is in this movie. He blows everyone away except for Paul Newman. Paul Newman and Wilford Brimley steal the movie, but Sally Field holds her own, as well as Bob Balaban. I love Absence of Malice. I love Sally Field. I love Paul Newman. I love Wilford Brimley. I love this film. This film is a gem, a true gem. There's some humor, romance, murder, intrigue, mystery. It has it all. But most importantly, it's a great film by Sidney Pollack, and I highly recommend that you check out Absence of Malice. Out of 5 stars, I easily give this 4.5 stars. Is it perfect? Of course not. But it's not bad. It's a good movie. I think you'll walk away loving Absence of Malice. I don't think you're going to walk out and say, this is a crappy movie. This is a... No. You take my advice, and when I tell you a movie is good, you better listen. I'm Tony. I hope you enjoyed this video, and I'll see you all in the next video.